This is Due by Friday, a weekly challenge podcast with Alex Cox and Merlin Mann. This week's challenge, watch just HBO.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Welcome. How's it going?
It's going great.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm having a very Merlin adjacent morning. I've had a Merlin adjacent week, really, even though we haven't talked a bunch, but I think I've been living a little bit in your world.
Okay.
But well,
That's good.
That's part of the challenge.
Should I ask about?
Last week I got to drive. So this week here's the wheel. Here you go.
Well, it sounds like you want me to ask about this.
No, I don't. I was
So
just
you
sharing.
joined the program.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what they call a teaser, Merlin. A teaser to let
How would
people
I know
what's
that? How would
coming
I
up.
know that?
Because you podcast, you're an experienced, one might even say a veteran of podcasting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Alex has teased us.
Hot.
What's on your mind? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Oh,
No, I'm used. I know the thing is, I know. I don't make a big deal about it, but I know. Sometimes you start saying things and you don't know what it is you're talking about, and then when I ask you what it is you're talking about, you come up with what you think it is that you're talking about.
no, what I am
No.
talking about is the challenge and my immersion in certain types of media and mindfulness within media. And right before we started talking, what is it exactly you said?
What is it I said? No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There's no way I wouldn't do. I want to do it, but I'm not going to do it.
Why not?
'Cause you need it. I don't know if it should be me, but somebody needs to do it.
Who
What we're talking
would do
about,
it?
what we're talking about is that I said to Alex that I would like to give them I said, I'd love to give your electronic life a makeover.
Yes.
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 If you'd
Hello.
if you'd love to do it,
Yep.
why not?
You're telling me all the things in life that I'd like to do, I should just go do.
No, you should specifically do the things that I am consenting that you would love to do, which is
Okay.
give me an electronic makeover.
I don't know if I could do it remotely. I feel like it would help a lot if I were there with you. I don't want you here with me, but I would like to be there with you. Maybe, you know what? Maybe a telepresence bot. Maybe one of those rolling iPads.
Ooh.
But I want it to be an iPad Pro. I want my face to be like ridiculously, like Tom Cruise large. Like I want my head to be huge. And I'm going to tell it grip to punch you in the face.
I don't think they can, punch, but
Because of
there
union
are
stuff? Yeah, but if you're shooting in Southeast Asia, you can get away with a lot. The order was sent from Hollywood, so I'm not sure if maritime law comes into that or how that works. We're talking about the movie. I think I'm talking about the movie Tropic Thunder. I'm not sure if you are.
I wasn't. I was thinking
You know what Tom
about
Cruise said? What did Tom Cruise say? What was Tom Cruise's only thing where he said, yes, Ben Stiller, I will be in your funny movie, but I have one request that is not negotiable. Would you please tell our listeners what his request was?
I don't know.
He wanted his hands to be huge. He wanted prosthetic giant hands, which they accommodated, and it made it so much funnier.
This is just a beautiful irony, I think. I don't know if I'm using irony right, but for Tom Cruise to know what he wants, which isn't to be taller, but to have bigger hands, is beautiful.
All right.
Okay.
Because you almost did a headline.
No, what
You're gonna talk
headline
about
was
the
I
shoes.
doing?
You're going to talk about the shoes.
I don't know about the shoes.
I'm so
Merlin.
glad that we are here, and I would love to help you with your electronic makeover, but that's not going to happen. No.
Okay.
Well, because Alex is not as simple as saying, try not to read the news and don't look at things that upset you. Like,
Don't do that. I truly do not.
How do you know all this stuff? How do you know so much about Ben Shapiro? How could you possibly know this much about Ben Shapiro?
What's going on with Ben Shapiro? The last time I thought about Ben Shapiro.
I could do the same thing.
Wait. No, the last time I thought about and watched Ben Shapiro is when he had a fairly fairly, I wouldn't say valid, but an interesting.
When he was a girl from Drama Club talking about lame is.
When he was talking about Wicked, and he didn't call them songs, he called them numbers. And
I love that. It's like when I love it when Wes Anderson calls a movie a picture, like people used to in the 40s. Putting together
for some reason, he can pull it off. A lot of people can't.
We're all doing our best every day, Alex. If you kept up with Ben Shapiro, you'd know how hard he tries. Understand? Master of the house.
I know.
I don't know the words to this, but I don't know the words to that.
Borat sings it. Yeah, I like that. Borat and
I know this Helena Bonham Carter, who's always very funny on Graham Norton. You should watch more Graham Norton.
You know what? Here we go. Put in that in.
Oh, good.
Do
you pay for no ads YouTube?
No.
See, this is the problem. I pay for no ads YouTube, and so I post a lot of YouTube, and it only occurs to me periodically that most people aren't paying for no ads YouTube. So I'm guessing and I hear that you're getting a lot more ads these days.
Oh boy.
Is that true? Okay. So
yes.
I'm this is a privilege thing, I suppose, where now I realize, there's yet another reason that people don't like things I post, because if you want to just go watch this video about the police, first you're going to have to sit through an ad for what are the ads like? What are the ads? Are they political ads a lot, I'm guessing?
It totally depends. On
the content.
Okay,
or the
hold on.
Okay, sorry.
I will occasionally, every other month, treat myself and pay for YouTube Premium or whatever it's called, because you can't do a big old batch of here, give me the entire year. And some of my Christmas presents, because I'm still a teenager, apparently, my parents will be like, here is Disney Plus for a year. And I'm like, oh, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. I guess I talk like Mickey Mouse when you gave me Disney Plus. But YouTube, you need to pay just an exorbitant amount every month. And
exorbitant if you don't watch it much.
Okay, well,
it's the best money I
here's
spend
the thing.
every month.
Here's the thing.
I watch 4-hour videos, Alex. I never see an ad.
This was my week of YouTube. All I watched was YouTube.
Whoa! That was your HBO this week?
Yes.
No kidding. Yeah. Oh wait, but you watched it with ads?
No.
You treated yourself.
Thank you to. Okay,
Please
is where I wanted.
Tell me something that I can understand. I'm trying so hard.
You don't have the. I've given you the wheel, but at least let me, drive from the backseat a little bit. There were a lot of suggestions
just so you know,
how
just
to
so you know,
get.
Just so you know, that
Yes.
in band. I'm going to do that
band.
now, and you're going to be reminded in a minute why it is that I jump in so often. Okay.
All right, this week. Challenge. This week's challenge was to only watch HBO and or a single source of media. Is that kind of the spirit of the challenge?
Yeah, you can interpret it anything you want, any way you want. The way it's written, and I like specificity. You can always change it later, but I think it was something like only watch HBO. And then, like just to reiterate what you just said, or the idea is the way I put it was, consider if you like watching TV, and I'm assuming people like watching TV, and I assume that a lot of my friends watch it on Apple TV. I think in my head, I'm thinking either become very aware of what your default channel is, or consider changing what your default channel is. The thing that you're most likely to turn on at a certain time of day, for example.
Yes.
Right? An example for me for a long time was, it's not a great example because I would listen to NPR anytime, but I got hooked on NPR first through Morning Edition. And then later I would listen to, I didn't even know the schedule and stuff. I knew Car Talk and I knew Morning Edition. And you can listen to it anytime, but for example, when I come home in the evening, sometimes I'll flip on, cable news just to see if anything blew up. For a lot of the evenings, I'll tuck in sometimes to a long movie or a series with the family, but at night I end up watching YouTube a lot. Does that make sense? It's also, I feel like you can adjust it. Like all of these, Alex, it's just to learn something about yourself ultimately, I think, But you did YouTube, and but you treated yourself for the no ads.
I didn't. I wanted to see what it was like for the first half of this week.
That's so
to be
cruel.
fully.
Oh my God.
I genuinely. Okay, so YouTube is the default place for a lot of people to go. This isn't headlines. This is
No,
anyone
especially children. Yeah.
No, I don't know children, or at least
My
I
goodness,
don't.
you're so hostile. Why? Every time I try to help you with something, you get hostile. You have to understand. There's some things about people, and there's some things about people, and there's some things about ideas, and we oughtn't confuse those.
What's the idea?
You're not ready for this. When I detox you from whatever the fuck is happening on the screen of that phone, you've got to change your background. Oh my God, it really does not work with this transparency bullshit. Are you on the current beta, or is this the previous beta?
I am.
That's the fuzz you get on the current beta?
Yeah, this is...
Woof. Control Center is a lot better, I gotta say.
It is. And that
was really
one of
rough,
the places
yeah.
I hang out. Yeah.
I know, that's like one of my default channels too.
It was a fun little stack of, I'm like, you know what? Well, I'm just going to embrace it while it exists to see,
That's why
like,
I'm
all
here.
right.
I'm here for the fun. Yeah.
Yes. It genuinely is so much fun. This is one of my favorite.
So you had
times
you
of year.
decided at the time that it was going to be YouTube with your ad situation? Had you did you know going into it, A, that it was going to be YouTube, and B, that you were still going to be getting ads?
Yes.
That's really brave. I couldn't do that.
Don't worry. I lost my courage
Because they've gotten really
ads,
tough on blockers too, right?
They have.
Yeah.
The popular blockers, but I hadn't seen a lot of YouTube ads for so long, because I tend to use the more popular blockers like Magic Lasso. Thank you, Magic Lasso. Or there are a bunch of apps that help you get around it, and
there's a lot of. I mean, I love One Blocker for ads. I don't run all the One Blockers. I like One Blocker. I love Lasso too. They do a great job. And also, I think Stop the Madness, our dude tries really hard to keep up, with the various things. But, in the end, that's a tough thing to lose against a company with that kind of scale. Or it's tough to win with a company with that kind of scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if you're just using it in Safari or, God forbid, Chrome. And I mean, it has this sort of hostility that I never
They want you to see the ads. That's
from...
why they put the videos up.
Oh, what? No, okay, no, I know, but it used to sort of have this illusion of, hey, support your creators to watch the ads, and now it's just premium. Like, all right, we're not even pretending anymore. Whatever, that's fine.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I really hadn't seen ads in so long. They're
when we
weird.
say you haven't seen ads, like on video,
On YouTube.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
I try to not see as many ads as possible. Thank you, Magic Lasso and Tailscale.
I always feel the need once a year or so to say something. It's not that I'm against the advertising industry. It's not that I'm against advertising. I think advertising is a perfectly fine idea. The problem is, as soon as we start talking about that, we're going to get into some gradations that make a lot of people uncomfortable. One thing I sometimes have to remind people who do ad-related things for things that I do, I sometimes have to remind them in a way that feels kind of mean, but given that it's become a reminding thing, the message hasn't gotten through. Programs I do, we happily offer advertisements, but we've never offered endorsements, and I don't offer endorsements on what I do. And anytime you want me to say something in first person about a product, that's an endorsement. That's no longer an ad. It's no longer something that just anyone could read. But then the deeper thing, when one comes across as anti-advertising, I'm not anti-advertising, I'm anti-spyware. It's a lot of it. And in the case, but honestly, also just aesthetically, in terms of YouTube, I would not be able to enjoy YouTube the way I do if it was getting sliced up by ads for like city councilmen and stuff like that.
I get a lot
I want to hear
of
what you get.
Sudan. Many
Move to Sudan, sweetie?
There's many Sudan sweeties that you're supposed to give money to help the famine in Sudan, but then there isn't a link.
It's a charitable. Now, is that a PSA or is that a paid ad, do you think?
It's a paid ad, because there are charitable there's a lot of
like any of those, honestly, like St. Jude's or Shriners or any of those, like, please help us with this charity cause. Those are paid ads. They're not just like MSNBC's endless find a mentor, the more you know stuff. They just run those in blocks of 3 or 4 over and over. They just don't have ads. I think they just run PSAs most of the time on MSNBC. It's become really funny. Really funny.
Circle back. I've discovered I have a take about podcast ads because I kind of enjoy them. This seems to be
I enjoy podcast ads when the copy's good and the person's good. It's awesome.
Yeah, someone I think it was on the Relay Discord said this is like, why is it that I don't mind it when someone I know who is a podcaster reads an ad, but if it's someone I don't know who has a podcast suddenly, like for me, that would be a celebrity.
Those DAI ones that get dumped into so many of the network shows that I like. I mean,
I'm not even touching those are a disaster for everybody.
Well, but like, for example,
involved.
like No Such Thing as a Fish is a show that I really like a lot, and they have a very distinctive style of doing, DJ reads or ad reads. But like sometimes before you get to the ones where they do it in their voice, first you hear one that's for like, I don't know, the Stanford credit card for hospitals or something. And you're like, what is it? What? That kind of voice, right?
Yes, and we all know that
it's that
those
time
are bad,
of year
and
again
no
where you're going to be sweating down the sides and you're chafing on your thighs. I don't like the thigh chafing ads. You ever see thigh chafing ads? You ever seen that lady that rubs her thighs?
No, I don't know what that is. Wait, what's a thigh?
Well, now they try and make all these ads on cable news that look like what I assume TikTok videos look like. And there's this whole like sweat and chafing vertical. And there's this one Zoftig lady who over and over again is shown hiking up her skirt and applying this poultice to her thigh insides.
Maybe I'm not seeing as many ads titled "Sweat and Chafing Vertical." I keep trying to think of what it looks like in my head. You did describe it well, I think, but I can't.
Well, like a railing, like let's say you're at Universal and you're out looking at the big castle, and like you put one foot up on a railing, you hike up your skirt, you take out your poultice, and you just start. But then they show her doing that in all these different places. Then there's that one. There's the Lumi lady. Remember the Lumi lady? She used to be a doctor, and now she tells you can put anywhere a foot under boob pits.
Okay.
She's actually, I think she says the word crotch, even though she's an MD.
The Lumi lady.
L-U-M-E. No, I like her. She seems nice.
L-U-M-E. Well, here's the difference.
I've seen her armpits a lot.
Lumi. I'm fairly biased, and I enjoy ads that run on Relay. I'm not trying to chortle the balls of my friends. I'm sorry. I guess I will chortle the balls.
Okay,
ATP
right.
And shh.
Okay, but you don't need to talk about our friends' balls. There's nothing unnecessary
I do want to
analogy.
talk about. Not necessary, but good.
Well, okay.
When
My
there's
mercy for you is at an end. Go ahead. Go ahead. No. Seriously.
When there's a podcast ad where someone has been doing podcasting ads and spot reads for a very long time, they know the craft of an ad, and they've still made it sustainable to work with an advertiser in order to be like, this is the type of copy that my audience will listen to. Otherwise, no one's going to go to your affiliate code and everyone will be sad and Whereas, you pop up a little thing on your phone and you start reading about vapes. It's not even off-putting because it's an ad. It's off-putting to me because I've appreciated the way so many people have made ads. Like it is a, I don't know, ad spots to me are a craft. I don't care to see when Ryan Reynolds is, shilling Mint Mobile. It's like, okay, yep, that is his job to sell Mint Mobile. And there's a difference.
He does own the company, so.
Does he really? Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. It's pretty good at selling.
He owns that. He owns the Aviator Gin. He owns part of a foosball team.
I knew about the gin and the
what they call it? Don't they call it that over there? Foosball?
Yes, foosball. But the if he suddenly popped in on Armchair Expert or something, it would feel just a kind of like a bummer because I know how difficult. I mean, the birth and death of podcasting has happened so many times, but I think about, MailChimp. And I mean, I don't know. I bet there would be a situation in which I would go visit a VPN if I think I would maybe go to Incogni or something like that. But I'm just trying to think about what still makes an ad read special and what makes certain ads special, because I don't know, like it's not just it's a living, but it can be like not just harmless but beneficial, I suppose. I know that I'm just being like capitalism, but I guess I miss the craft of different type of ads, and maybe that's just because I've made them before and it's been a positive experience. I don't know. I also like when a company does something like commission a rock opera as a way to advertise.
I have no way. I mean, obviously, I have my own thoughts on this too, and my own impressions. And I think of things like Blank Check, where their ad reads are so fun, and where, in a way that I admire, and if I could say I've tried to do in the past, they do stuff like first of all, I would love it if I got anything I did got sponsored by Mubi. I love Mubi. It's one of my favorite streaming stations. But like, for example, I don't know how it ever started, but the bit started on Blank Check years ago with Mubi ads, where there'd be a knock at the door and David would have to answer the door. And do you remember who was at the door? It's the cineast cow, Moo. And it's the cow who loves movies. And so it's a character they made up for Mubi, the cineast cow. Which, first of all, the phrase cineast cow is really funny to me. So hearing it over and over for years makes it funny. And they add a little funny effect where it sounds like Griffin's on the phone. It's just an on-air read, but then they put some stank on it and it becomes delightful. I like a lot of that stuff. What I don't know, apart from my own preferences and taste, is I don't know what's effective. So it's difficult for me to say, well, that's a dumb ad, because I don't know what's effective or not. There is a part of me that goes like, I'm not the smartest person in the world. There must be some reason people do what they do. And I don't want to get too deep into podcast ads, but with advertising in general, you have to weigh, I guess, like what the cost of it is, the effectiveness, and how much you can measure what that effectiveness, how effective it's been for like what your goal was, So I don't know. It's sort of like, I don't listen to the radio a lot anymore, and I especially don't listen to commercial radio much anymore. But like at Christmas time or whatever, like it's just overwhelming. The ads that are on always have been. Like, it used to be AM radio had the bad ads, but like the ads on everything now are they're just like people like stern warnings about lawsuits and slip and falls, and like it's all so dreary.
I didn't know how much compensation I was entitled to until I listened to Spotify.
Some of that money's been set aside. Were you serving in the Marines by any chance in 1986? Just out of curiosity.
I can't recall.
You can't. Oh, that's a good answer. That's good. Mm-hmm. All right. Just one more thing. It's funny you should say this is really dumb. This is not even worth sharing. This is one of the myriad kinds of things that I just don't share with people that I write. But like right before we started recording, I happened to, completely apropos of nothing, I was thinking about the ads that are on cable news and how bad they are. And I had this thought this morning that like, this isn't worth writing up as a piece of fiction, but like, what if you just tweak the knobs just a little bit, and instead in this dystopian world, there's this things like in, what's it called? What's that episode of Black Mirror, 15 million credits? Yeah. Like 15, whatever it's called. So. But like the way that you get credit for stuff, if you're one of the underlings, is you have to watch so many ads in order to accumulate. And I think that's probably not the first time somebody's thought of that idea, but I thought that was very well done. And it's kind of provocative, because how different is that, obviously, really, from like being forced to have unskippable ads on Hulu, right? We're like, and like I'm old enough and crabby enough to say, well, you must not be very proud of your ads because I can't rewind during an ad. You think I'm going to just go try to get back to the TV show. I want to see that cool ad you just showed me, but you don't think enough of it to let me watch it again. Right?
That is a huge, oh gosh.
That's very,
I had
you
a
told
few
on yourself
YouTube ads
a
where
there.
I did want to watch it, and I was like, oh, I want to link to this silly ad. Oh, wow. Oh,
I had one the other day on Hulu, because Hulu's ads. So when I'm watching Hulu a lot of the time, I'm flipping between MSNBC and CNN, which takes 6 clicks. That's fine. But I'm watching, but these ads will be on, and a lot of them are pretty terrible, and a lot of them are about pharmaceuticals. But anyway, just quickly, what if we invert this just slightly? And what if one way, I don't know, I'm just imagining some dystopia where you have to watch ads for pharmaceuticals all day, and they occasionally cut in very upsetting news updates, but then you get right back to watching the ads, and it's like, it's not really that different from what's already happening. It is a lot about, you don't know you're sitting on gold with your insurance policy, second mortgages, and just so many pharmaceutical ads. And like, there it is, like, in this 14-year-old boy idea of a dystopian fiction, the idea of, like, for some reason or other, TK reason, you're compelled to watch these ads a lot. But the news updates, instead of thinking of it as I watch the news and there's occasional pharma ads, we're not really that far off from I just watch pharma ads all afternoon, and sometimes they tell me something upsetting for a few minutes.
That was
that's cynical, but that's how it feels.
I think there's a difference now, though, because it feels dystopian, whereas before, I mean, at least my experience with seeing my grandparents, luckily they don't do this as much, but they used to just have Fox News on in the background. Like, they were those people. And that's just what it was. It was
nobody I know does that, but everybody I know's family does that. And for my family, sometimes that's sports, just on all the time and loud, always loud. Or so honestly, like loud. HGTV or wine throwing shows, or like cleaning boat shows will just be like on in the background. And like so many things on cable now, almost everything's always a marathon. Like there's always like 6 episodes of The Office or like all these episodes of Seinfeld, like the stuff I like, right? But then there's also be like, 14 episodes of Swabbing the Deck UK or whatever.
I don't know how I feel about. I don't think HBO has this, but Disney Plus has marathons of The Simpsons, and I think a few other cartoons or long running
that they put
shows
together as a feature in the app.
Yes, and it isn't a collection,
right?
Because I know those have existed for a while, and I enjoy a good collection.
I thought since the beginning that Disney's pretty good at that kind of stuff, as well as all the like, extra material, the fly-through of the Millennium Falcon. I always thought that stuff was not going to be sustainable, but I thought did differentiate them in the beginning a lot.
Absolutely.
Behind the scenes of all the Marvel shows, like it makes sense if people like Disney, like watch the that wonderful documentary about the guy who wrote all the songs. Like that's you watch that, right?
Yes.
What's the guy's name?
Very good.
What's that guy's name?
Alan
Sherman. Alan.
No.
But the guy who wrote the Beauty and the Beast songs, and it's all really sad.
I think it's Alan. Yeah.
But something like that, or again, if you enjoy WandaVision, that's a show, right? Like you would enjoy seeing a behind the scenes thing on that. I think that's really, and all the ILM stuff they put up. I think a lot of it's neat. It's just that I already own all the movies on Disney that I want to watch. It would have been great when my kid was 5, but like Disney would be so easy for me to cancel right now.
It feels weird because the way that they are making a lot of the behind the scenes stuff is because almost every Simpsons unions. Episode has 3. They have the plant, but we have the power. Lisa,
now do classical gas.
Wait, is that from
That's from Last Exit to Springfield.
Oh God! Oh my God!
Where's my
Conan.
burrito? Where's my burrito?
Where's my burrito?
It's such a Conan. But also at the very beginning, where they're showing you the movie, and it's Rainier Wolfcastle inside of an ice sculpture. Remember? And he bursts out with a machine and goes, "Eyes to see you." Scully, you look like that jacket makes you look like a homosexual. What? It does.
Oh, God. But that episode, along with all of the Disney Plus episodes, now have the weird little pause for what used to... Well, there are two pauses. There used to be like the stinger that was break for commercial.
Oh, yeah, like a little fade out.
Yeah, and that it's like, okay, normal. And then if there is an ad in the middle of that on Disney Plus or whatever, oh yeah, that makes sense. But with
wait, should they showing ads on Disney Plus?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah,
How long have they been doing that?
Oh, since
do I get that?
Like 6 months. No, they have unlike Amazon, they have a paid plan and then a free plan.
Oh my God,
with
Billy
ads.
had to get the credentials again to log in because he's watching that one show. It's a show about like a queer king guy and with lots of cameos.
A queer.
Apparently,
king
Stephen
guy.
Fry smokes crack in it. There's an article in the New York Times about it. Isn't it a musical? Or something. It's a play. It's about the gay king guy. You know what I'm talking about?
I need to look at more headlines. I
Gay
have
king
no idea.
guy, Amazon Prime. But that I don't know. I'm so rarely like this with stuff, but I am a little miffed that like I used to get Amazon Prime and it was fine. But the idea of like anything I want to watch on there, I think I might have told you this or Syracuse this, but I finally took it out of my array of like places that I watch because I'm tired of it showing up and just being something with commercials. Sometimes it'll be like when you do it, you know what I'm talking about? You do a search on Apple TV and you say find thus and such movie. And it's like, okay, you can buy it on Apple TV, you can rent it on Apple TV, or you can watch it on, and then you'll see like Freevee or TubeFuck or Jizzmag or Amazon Prime. And you're like, yeah, I know that's just going to be like, there's just going to be so many Geico ads in that.
I prefer.
Oh, I want to tell you one other thing though.
Plus.
I was watching, I finally unplugged my actual television set from the internet, and everything goes through Apple TV now. And so I don't know how that'll affect it in the future. The VPN that I use does nothing to obscure location, right? So it's still, that's not why I use a VPN personally. But anyhow, what I said a minute ago about how you can't rewind, I was watching TV, I think this past weekend, and just out of the corner of my eye, I saw I don't know. I've been incepted, and there's so many things in life now where I watch it and I see something and all I can think of is some comedy show that I love. And honestly, a great deal of stuff that comes across my transom does remind me of Tim and Eric. And a Tim and Eric almost style, like not in terms of like, poop flying through the air and dynamite, but in terms of like the staginess and stiffness and artificiality. It's an ad that pops up for, of course, a realtor in my literal like neighborhood. And to show it's my neighborhood, they showed a map. So this is some kind of a dynamic thing that comes in. And I get this in podcasts already. Like I say, I get ads for stuff in the Bay Area all the time. I'm not sure what to do about that. But it was so fucking, and this guy pops up. He looks like some kind of a Trump aide, and he's got his little he looks like he's like one of those hairless men who works for like a Stephen Miller type. And he's anyway, no, he's standing there in his blazer, like with a shit-eating grin, talking about how he's number one in sales. Everybody's number one in sales. And it was like, whoa. And it went blip, blip, blip. And I tried to go back. It wouldn't let me go blip, blip, blip. And then once the ad break was over, because what happens is, you'll see normally up in the corner when you're watching Hulu, it'll say ad in a little yellow block, sometimes with a countdown, often with a countdown, which I think is cool. But so you can't do anything inside that stream while an ad is happening. And they have recently really locked this down to where I feel like it's gotten slower as an app because it feels like the first thing it does is check whether there should be an ad on right now. And that is even that amount, because like, and with the beta right now, it often says like locked content or something like that. It comes up anyways. So then when the ad's over, I'm like, oh, I got to go see this. Blip, 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 blip. And I try to go back. No, I think it was 1,000% DAI and doesn't really exist as a Hulu ad. I bet it was just a spot that was either left open or claimable when needed by a local ad. But I don't think it wasn't like, what I'm saying? It wasn't like recorded. Oh, yeah. It was so weird.
There was a really funny dynamic ad where this person, I don't think is this idiot was railing against AI in just the most obvious and annoying way. And then, just right into an ad for not even a good LLM, just, one of those GPT wrappers. And, good name.
First time dining. Is this your first time dining at GPT wrappers? Well, my name's ChatGPT. I'm here to say I'll say things back to you in a condescending way. Or maybe I suck up. I suck up to you. I claim things I know real well, but you know I don't do that. Fact checking on the head. Rapper.
No.
I'll cut that.
Do you want
out,
me? Do you want me to ship you some Adderall? I really like Adderall.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're on Adderall now.
I didn't take it this morning.
I didn't take it this morning. I don't
What?
have any. I can take it when I want. I got
What,
a jar of Adderall.
Am I not checking my Adderall?
Yeah, fuck you.
privilege?
You wake up every morning knowing you could take an Adderall. Don't act like that doesn't make a difference.
Yes, it absolutely 100%. 100% makes a difference. I have never been.
And you wake up and you say to yourself, maybe there's a chance today. Maybe there's a chance today.
There's
the
was
chance it'll
a
work
time-
out.
Yeah, there was. Well,
Maybe I'll get to be me today.
It was much worse when it was. Oh, am I going to? Is today going to be a Lamictal day? Like when can I?
I do it with Vyvanse, where I try to take days off because I don't want to be gacked out all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable, and I have the privilege of knowing that I will have Adderall and Lamictal, and it makes me happy. And I was saying something about, just 8 hours later, I went to try to get just the funny clip of the dynamic ad and the podcast because I'm a jerk.
Yeah.
And nope, no more. And I hadn't deleted the podcast. I guess I no longer know how
on some
RSS
level, isn't that
works
very
anymore?
weird? Isn't that very weird on some level?
Weird in that.
Because it's like it didn't even exist. It happens and I think about stuff like in Apple News sometimes where, God forbid, I'll be scrolling down and right as I'm about to swipe back to the list, I see something I wanted and then I go back to the article and try and find it and it's gone. There's just all this material and I don't mean to invoke the algorithm that everyone finds so upsetting, but it is weird how impermanent so much information is right now in some ways.
That's what I wanted.
I just sent you Red, White, and Royal Blue is the name of this. Billy has finished one or more books about this, I think.
Yep.
Does that sound familiar?
Yep.
Okay.
The books.
That's when he needed Amazon Prime. I think he read 2 of these books, maybe.
Yes, there are. It's.
You've heard of this?
I haven't. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've read the books. They're.
How did I describe it? Gay King? I was way off with that, huh?
No, well,
isn't there some gay thing happening?
Gay in line to be the king, so so close. And then American Diplomat. I didn't know that Stephen Fry was in this, though.
And I think the actress Uma Thurman might be in it too.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
I
fun.
want to watch it. I really respect the Little Lord's media choices, although I hope that because he's read the Murderbot books, that he gives the Murderbot show a chance. I was wrong. I was wrong. It's interesting.
I just can't get into it. I've tried 4. And I keep thinking,
never mind then.
No, of course I blame myself because I like the way Skarsgård is. I think he's an unconventional choice for almost everything. But I like how he is. Like, for example, as you may know, his documentary Now episode, the Werner Herzog one. I could see somebody who loves Werner Herzog or is into what they think is Werner Herzog watching that and going, this is stupid. I don't understand any of this, but particularly he doesn't sound like Werner Herzog, which I think makes it kind of extra funny because he's not trying to impersonate Werner Herzog. He's creating a different character that's very Werner Herzog-like in all the important ways. But he's not trying to do an impression. You know what I mean? Or, I loved him on Succession. I thought he was so effective on Succession as an Elon Musk type.
The beads. For some reason, the beads do so much work.
Going to the treehouse. Remember the treehouse for his birthday?
Yes. Wonderful. Rich people are funny.
I'll give it another try. I really like that lady with the deep voice, like the couple. Oh, and I love, I love that guy, that one guy, the guy from, the guy's name I don't know. Late night with the devil. He's in Suicide Squad. He's in Dune. He might be Armenian or Russian. The guy with the dark hair who seems like a robot. What's his name? You know who I mean? That actor I like.
Yeah, I don't know the actor's
Janine Garofalo.
name. But I like Garathan and his little cyborg port in the back of his head. The utopian Neuralink version. He has a bad haircut.
Neuralink meet David Dast. Boy, I really love this guy's work, so it's going to kill me to just massacre this guy's name. David Dastmalchian. And I reference one of his characters a lot in things, and no one knows what I'm talking about, which is fine. But he plays a character in Suicide Squad that I think about a lot. Did you ever see Suicide Squad?
Which is the good one?
The good one is the one by James Gunn that's got, I guess, do they all have John Cena? No, it's the Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad. And you want the one that doesn't have Jared Leto in it.
Okay, that's way easier to... James Gunn is also easier to remember.
It's got Merle, of course, because it's James Gunn. It's got Merle from Walking Dead in it. I think you might want the Suicide Squad. Anyways, I won't spoil it. Yeah, the Suicide Squad.
If Jared Leto shows up, I will
no, you'll know. You know. What did you pick up anything? Learn anything? Did you have any insights from your experiment this week?
Other than
any insights? Fine.
Wow, the ads are worse than I thought, and I did a bunch of stuff to work around them. I probably will get myself a treat and eventually get rid of the ads again. But I don't know. I used to feel really weird about the YouTube algorithm, and I'm still a little bit cautious about it. But I used to do the experiments that you didn't like, where I tried to see how long I'd like watch right-wing media until it took me to some wild QAnon stuff.
Yeah, that'll never turn out bad.
I don't do
literally
it all
can't.
the time.
I know.
Well, I just went to, again, whenever I was like, I would
You're
like
immune to the siren
watch
song
something.
of fascism.
Oh my God. I was just going to YouTube, and I wanted to also watch or listen to podcasts there, because normally my default is going to my Overcast queue.
Yeah, right.
Like, no, it's gonna be
Oh, I see. You
YouTube
stick
all
with
the
it.
way.
Yeah, and some of them have video. Like there's Amy Poehler and Conan, and
I don't like it. I don't. And Hardfork.
You don't like Amy Poehler and Conan O'Brien?
No, I don't. Well, I don't
Okay.
like watching.
Okay. Or like Flightless Bird. Speaking of, but yeah, Flightless Bird has usually at least some live video part.
Mm-hmm. And they also do have RSS, which is nice. But no, I was all in on YouTube.
I was listening to Upgrade this week, like I do, and I guess it never occurs to me. So they put out something on YouTube where you can like see both of their faces the whole time. It sounds like that.
Yes,
I was not aware of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
should we do that?
Really,
would we get more popular?
We do
would we get
that.
more than?
We shouldn't show our face.
Would we get more than 3 views? Should we turn on our cameras?
That's
You can see this tremendous mustache I have.
They have. I want to see your mustache, but I don't want you to see my very unfortunate haircut. I probably will put my.
Oh no! Did you get over your skis? Did you do it yourself?
No, I did not.
Okay. You asked someone to do it to you. You said, "Shave me." Shave your father.
I go to the Supercuts by my house, and I always say, "Hey,
speaking of treating yourself,
what?
That's fine.
What's wrong with Supercuts?
No, Supercuts is fine." Oh man, look how old I look. Pull it up. Hey, look at me. No, look at me. Are you seeing me?
I am. No. It's come on now.
But you just pull up the screen where we're recording, Alex.
Oh, the screen where we're recording?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm saying hello. Look.
Oh God! See, I had you tucked into a little corner. Oh, you're so very handsome. Look at
what,
that.
You think? Oh, you can see I cut my own. I don't know if you listen to my podcast, but I cut my own hair the other day. Anyway, so here's my hair. Yeah.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you did a good fade. Oh my God, fuck you.
I'll turn off the camera. Hey, thank you. That was nice to hear. Thank you.
More upset about Supercuts. I didn't have my normal lady.
Supercuts.
What's wrong with Supercuts?
Do you get people at Supercuts who've worked there for a long time?
I don't know. It's always a different
It's a launch pad to other hair opportunities.
Well,
I I like
everybody.
working
go
at
to
the
giveusyourfuckingmoney.com and go get a good haircut. But
I have 3 cat trimmers. I can send you one of mine.
I do have a trimmer, and in the summer I often just shave my head and kind of do like a fresh restart.
What number do you do?
Oh, when I shave my head, a 0. But typically,
that's crazy, Alex. You would look like a nut. You look like Sid Barrett. Fuck that.
Yes, it's very upsetting. But then I wear a nice hat. I wear a St. Jude hat. You can't shame me for that. It's a very nice. Yeah, I mean, true.
I mean, absolutely, I can. Like, why would you need to show off that you helped a kid with cancer? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's
a weird flex.
It's not. It's mostly because it's very
I just
cool.
hope that your child never gets cancer. Because look at this hat and the people that I am helping.
Must be nice.
That's how we say congratulations in my family.
Must be nice. Great success. Do you want to hear how many? I'm just going to tell you 6 ads in a 1-hour podcast.
6 ad breaks.
6 ad breaks. And it made me very sad because I know that this is also, I think that these are, I don't want to say tamer ads, but they're not, I don't know, maybe because of all of the VPNs to try to obscure my data, just to get rid of the annoying bullshit that slows websites down. I get much more neutral ads than one would on Instagram or something. But if you're watching
think about that, oh god,
yeah, it's weird. But if you're watching, like a Mr. Beast episode or a 3-hour World War I.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm going to send you, here's a screen grab of what my current screen, when I open up YouTube on my Mac, this is what I see. And the Fred Armisen interview with Ted Danson, I could see ads in that. Live Tropical Fuckstorm, Beethoven Symphonies, 5 hours of Beethoven Symphonies. Certainly my all-time favorite music documentary, Born Fighter by Rockpile, or even just, highlights from Broad City. Or hope to shout the 13-minute version of Sarah by Fleetwood Mac. There's a chance if I pop that on, there's a chance they would just put an ad in the middle of Sarah by Fleetwood Mac. Is that right?
Probably.
Because that's really grotesque.
Well, it depends on if you are monetized or not, or the YouTube partner.
You know what I could do? I could log out and see.
Yes.
Oh man, I don't know. Man. What if I can't get back in? Hello. What if I couldn't get back in?
And you're just cursed forever to see an ad in the middle of.
Well, I wouldn't watch as many things. I'd have to read books or something.
Oh yeah, I'm a monster and I listen to them.
I'm reading the tuberculosis book now.
Oh,
he's such a good writer.
He is. Yeah. I really, really, really like him. Well, actually, for example, the Green Brothers have turned off all mid-roll ads, and so you'll get one at the beginning, and most YouTube videos now have what do you call an end cap? What do you call an ad at the end?
At the end? Yeah, no, there's a name for that. There's
been out of the business too long. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
There's a little ending, which I don't understand because you can just click away.
Yeah,
anyway, data.
Well, it depends. I mean, there are some like The Rest is History. I really like the ad reads those guys do, but unfortunately, it's also poisoned a little bit by weird DAI ads. They do an ad at the end that doesn't bother me. I think also at least in Overcast you can set the beginning and end time, which I've set for several podcasts. Honestly.
I don't mind. In fact, sometimes I like those, like an end, like, hey, thank you to our sponsors.
I just don't want to hear Bill Simmons doing that bro voice again. I can't. I've had to stop listening to a lot of podcasts on that network because it's becoming so self-reflexive. The Ringer podcasts are becoming so self-reflexive and so bro-y to me.
I would be... I'm
self-reflexive mostly. There's me, I love a little world. I was thinking about this earlier today, and with regard to ads in particular, I don't know why I was thinking about this before we recorded, but so much about ads and stuff. But I'm never mind. I'm just carrying on. Forget about it. Carrying on. Sorry.
I think, but I want to underscore that I'm not complaining about, like, weirdly, I
there's
think
ideas
much more
versus people,
receptive
Alex.
towards
You're not
ads.
saying people shouldn't make money. It's like,
I'm also not saying people shouldn't make ads because they can be really, really good. And
But they don't want or need them to be good, Alex. They need them to be effective.
Yes, but I feel that there was oh God, I'm going to do there was a time, but no, there still are times where a host read ad will really make me be like, oh cool. Like in fact, the P app that I'm obsessed with now, I didn't realize that you did an ad for that on Rectifs. Yeah. And then I went back and listened, and I was like, oh yeah, P app, which is not an endorsement, but I will endorse it.
That was the third or fourth take.
Oh my!
That tells you if you could have heard me laughing in the first one or two, but I thought, you know what? There's no reason not to share that with people. I don't. What is it? It might have been Marco who said this, or he might have gotten it from. I don't know, but like, it's just. Let me just put it as neutrally as I can. You can. As long as you're saying truthful things, you can buy an ad for your product on my show. If you're saying untruthful things, I'm gonna look askance at that and probably refuse your ad, because even if you think what you're saying is true, sometimes I know what you're saying is not, and sometimes I make advertisers go away because of that. It's made me extremely unsuccessful. But
people know that though. About you. That's a statement that I know you're gonna be like, how do you know? But
you can ask me. You can. I mean, but like, it's weird. You know what? Now I'm just complaining. But it's frustrating because like I know there's ways to be at least what I would consider to be creative, and I know what makes me be interested in something. But like, when just saying stuff like have fun and riff about it. Well, if I've never used your product, what is there to riff about? Like, it's just, what you really feel sometimes, what it really feels like they're saying is make up some nice shit to say about us and make sure it's positive and put it in your first person voice. And here comes Holden Caulfield again. That was never on offer. Now, if I want to say something nice, because I do love Squarespace, or I do love, I believe you call the app LogP, then I will feel free to do that, but that is not for sale. You can buy the space, but you can't buy my ardor. The ardor they come, the ardor they fall.
You made it better. See,
we were pausing because you were trying to think of something. I thought I'd jump in.
No, I thought you put a jazz break there because it was.
No, I don't do jazz breaks anymore. I don't have time for that.
I didn't have any. Well, also I didn't have anything interesting to say.
Should we start redoing real human voices for the beginning?
I don't know, because I think the
concept is wearing a little thin, and I always try to pick what I think is an appropriate voice, and I still love like the old black guy. I love old guy who talks like this,
Hey,
but it'll probably be better on our own voice. But
if I provide you with different voices that are,
can you do that?
Yeah, if you use the Whisper product and like to do some bleep bloops. Sorry, not Whisper. Or what's it called? Whatever 11 Labs is calling its.
Yeah, I don't know.
thing.
No, I would have no way of doing that. This is all done in Descript.
No, I know, and eventually it trickles down to Descript typically, but I'm like in Descript again. I finally went back and
I couldn't do what I do without it.
I was pleasantly surprised at how you can go, if you like go deep into YouTube, there's still a lot of weird shit. And
wait, are we back to the challenge?
I'm taking back the wheel. That's because this is the only other thing I have to say about YouTube, because I mean I suppose it's like seems counterintuitive. Like, why would you decide? That's so many people's default, and it really hasn't been for me in so long.
But the thing is,
and I thought,
all right. But here's the thing that's got to be said though is everybody's YouTube is different. I don't mean in terms of ads. I mean why you're there. I don't watch. God, I realize I'm so becoming Holden Caulfield. First of all, I don't use ChatGPT the way most of you do. And I think that's one reason we disagree about what it's good at and what it's for. I think I don't use YouTube like a lot of other people. I use YouTube like a dad. I'm not using it to watch people do reaction videos about reaction videos. I'm not anything where the first thing that pops up is stock footage or the speaker's face. I tend to bounce.
None of them look happy.
Not always, because it depends. Because there's some stuff where that's exactly what I want is a person's face or whatever. But a lot of times if I want to get serious about it, I just go over to Nebula because there's more stuff. It's more fun. Like if I can see Maggie Mae Fish has a new thing coming out. I love Lindsay What's-Her-Head. I like Jenny Nicholson. I love Philosophy Tube. These are all the ones that I really look forward to. And of course, Beacon Rewind. She, to me, is the master of that kind of format in some ways. Mm-hmm. And I've watched enough of these enough times to know, to get a vibe sometimes for this is somebody's shticky YouTube channel. I'm not saying it all has to be like stolen movies or something, but there are some people, and I would be happy to, again, illuminate the 5 or 6 YouTubers who I think are, to my taste, absolutely outstanding at what they do. And I have laundry lists of reasons why I think those people are better at it. It doesn't mean people should do things differently. It doesn't mean you as a person should like it differently. But I just want to, because we keep saying YouTube, 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 that means so many different things to so many different people. I have a feeling when I say YouTube, go ahead.
My thing, I'm realizing more and more that YouTube is a search engine pretty much for me, because I know what I like, and a lot of I think everyone that you listed, I enjoy their stuff, and now I will go spelunking for something weird. I want to see like a World War I documentary or some really niche cybernetic 3D printing shit, and that is what is that algorithm has gotten pretty good. But if you just go straight to YouTube the same way that I will go straight to the HBO like the main screen and be like, oh, okay, cool, what's here? Pretty much the front page of YouTube is unusable for me, even though I'm subscribed to all of the people I like.
That also, it helps to, I can speak for myself. I have learned to like YouTube a lot more by using it in a certain way. And one of those things includes frequently adding things to watch later. Anytime I run across something, I'm forever doing a long press on Apple TV to add to watch later. But honestly, that same long press.
Unlike HBO, the long press means add, not
Alex, who
not
came
disappear.
up with that? Who?
I don't know.
What? That's the weirdest. I was so amazed when you said that, because I figured I'm the only person in the world that's had this problem. But because on HBO, the thing is, if you want to pick back up, and this topic's kind of boring, so we shouldn't talk too long about it. But doing the thing is, normally you pop back up with HBO, and HBO, it's gotten better about this, but for a long time, I think we talked about this on Rec Diffs a couple years ago or more. HBO seemed uniquely bad at remembering or intuiting where you left off with something. So there was 3 different things that could happen. You jump back into some series you've been watching, or maybe a rewatch especially, and it's well, will it remember that I was at the end of this Game of Thrones episode? Will it automatically start the next one? Because I'll bet I'm not the only person in the world that's just hit the continue button and I'm like, wait a minute, I've never seen this. What is this? Or wait, this is 2 episodes ago. And so, but then I think okay, I'm gotten so used to stuff, as you say, long press on YouTube. You long press on your currently playing list. If you long press on something in that row, it removes it from your to watch on HBO list, which is crazy to me. And the only way I know of to get there, and it's not that bad, but if I'm watching, I caught up on Gilded Age before the new season. So let's say the S2E 9 or 10 or whatever, the last episode is up. You got to click that one. Continues playing. This is the fastest way I know of to get to the TV show, The Gilded Age, is to click on the thing that's playing. Then I see the end credits or the after credits stuff. At that point, you can hit back or up And that will take you to where that episode is in that season. And then you got to deal with their little weird season horizontal menu, which sucks. But it's in that way, the HBO app is not great. But in a lot of other ways, it is really good. I don't love the shovelware of all the Zaslav shows. I wish I could kind of make those, not be amidst the other things. But there's a lot to like in the HBO app. I like that it's got the equivalent, at least in mine, when I pull it up, be like, hey, here's what's quote live on HBO right now, because that's how I watched HBO my whole life. And here's what's next. Like at 6 o'clock, there's going to be at Sunday, there's going to be a new episode of the show. And the last episode that we aired plays before that. I think that's super smart. And you can do that with HBO or HBO 2 or HBO Ladies or HBO Macho or whatever all the different verticals are. HBO Ladies, is that what it's called? This is your first time dining at HBO Ladies? We do things a little bit different here.
That's so funny.
Now, wait a minute. Okay, so it's a theme restaurant. It's at the mall. It's called HBO Ladies. Now, is it a jokey enough, like that it could be like a 70s restaurant, or like the Buddy Holly restaurant in Pulp Fiction? Is everybody dressed? Are all the waitrons different HBO ladies? Because what would that, and it could be men too, but they're dressed as ladies.
The waitrons, they're called.
Well, you could do what's that one with the lady with the why do you never get sick of seeing me? What's her name? Who's the black non-binary lady with the show? What's that show called? What's that show called? You know that show?
I have no idea.
Get out of my car. No, what's it called? Anyway. There's that. Is it Insecure? Am I thinking of Insecure? No. Wait till they get a load of me. Wait till they get a load of me. I think that's what it's called. No, but it's the one with the little non-binary lady on a. You could do that. You could Miranda, maybe Miranda from. You know what? They could all be Cynthia Nixon. It's all different Cynthia Nixons. They come to your table. Mm-hmm. Cynthia's.
Do they show off their not camel toe? The
they show off
the
their
picture
camel
you
toe.
sent
All
me.
the women do. Yes.
The chafing. Oh God.
I would rather you not drag Cynthia Nixon into the chafing discourse.
I wasn't.
You should watch The Gilded Age. She has a very sweet dog named Pumpkin.
And you seem to really not you, the royal you, not the red, white, and royal blue, but Gilded Age.
It's got Carrie Coon, dude.
Gilded Age.
It's got a lot of good people. It's got a character that Billy refers to as off-brand Timothy Chalamet. He invented a clock.
It's true. Oh,
and then Pumpkin. You got Pumpkin. Also Robert Sean Leonard.
Oh,
reminding you to have a good Wednesday and be yourself. I learned things from all these things, Alex. And I still, the main thing I learned, I think, with my little dipping into this challenge was what I already knew, which is I think of the streamers, HBO is the most valuable to me. I mean, in the sense that there's the most things that I really want to watch or rewatch, like are on HBO. I mean, I end up probably pound for pound watch more hours of YouTube. But again, when I say YouTube, well, what does that mean? Let's go look at my history and see what that means. Like, I have, Tropical Fuckstorm, The Pretender. See, now this is a lot of music. Conan, Behind the Scenes of Das Boot, a bunch of art stuff. I mean, like it really is. It runs the gamut of my interests. But like, what do I watch that's like a YouTube video? I mean, not Movies with Mikey. That wouldn't count. I'm trying to think of what I watch that's like what most people think of as YouTube videos.
I like Eddie Burback, who's not Eddie Bareback as much as I like. People would consider Lindsay Ellis or ContraPoints and Philosophy Tube as a genre of YouTube video, which is either
mean YouTube
RedTube or YouTube.
Yeah, like Jenny Nicholson, mean YouTube.
Yes, yeah. I was I don't know. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought I would be really, really annoyed by YouTube and you can, I don't know, you can fuck around with a lot of stuff that, I am going to recommend an app because I love apps. If you're listening and are like, you should watch more ads, that's okay. There's a browser called Friendly Streaming, and you can watch YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, whatever. It's and basically it just is faster than watching in Chrome or Safari. And there are ads, like you can log in if you want. So it's just more intuitive, like if you want to play faster, or if you want to make your calm down. If you, like me,
don't tell me to calm down. Your life is insane.
I'm talking to my.
I don't care. Just because you have Adderall doesn't make you normal.
I'm not.
I will continue to point out that you're so fucking weird. And just like talking fast doesn't change that, Alex. You're really fucking weird.
I'm not talking fast until right now, but now I am going to talk fast and just say, if you're like me and your primary way of watching YouTube is the watch later queue, this is a great way to do it. And you can do it in this Lieback mode. What's?
Oh no, Lieback is a band. They used to have a thing called was it Lieback mode, where like it was like, remember in the early days it was like, hey, you don't even have to click videos, we'll play them for you. Wasn't that a thing?
I mean, they still
listen to
have
Lieback?
Continuous. No, Lieback. Is that a German band?
L-A-I-B-A-C-H. They're Slavic.
Oh, so it is German. Lieback.
Yeah. Check out their song.
I want to hear what it. I want to hear.
That's really it.
What you've learned. I've gotten my app in that I enjoy.
I didn't have too much other stuff to add. I'm becoming aware.
I wanted to know, when you say value, do you mean like monies or just?
That's a good. No. I was trying to make that. I was really kind of trying to go out of my way with that distinction. Well, what?
I said, please continue.
Oh, I mean, part of the presence of mind also is going like, okay, I think you've watched enough like scrolling around on YouTube for today. Like, that's good. There is something to be said. This is just my opinion. There is something to be said for making time to concentrate on one thing and not be, flipping around. And I do that, or I'll just watch a movie. But sometimes, speaking of the algorithm, I mean, sometimes I do end up finding really interesting stuff that is very related to what I like, but it ends up feeding into things maybe that are peculiar to me, like playlists or ideas for other things. So you said you think of it as a search engine, which I guess so, but for me, it's just a search engine for videos. It's never rarely taking me somewhere besides that video.
That is what I meant specifically for
But there are a lot of times where if I believe that the thing I'm looking for in the world is a video, per se. Like, I have learned over time, slowly, to just go to YouTube. Because if I go to Google and I search for a thing, I'm trying to think of an example of something. I was joking around with somebody about something. I needed to find something, and I don't remember what. I think I was sending Todd a Fateful Findings thing. But you find stuff, and it's like you go to the regular Google search, and it's cool. I like the fact there's so many different kinds of things. I'm forever going to the images tab. But going to the videos tab in Google is rarely great for me. First of all, there's lots of stuff like Yarn and things like that want to give you the video as a GIF, but not really as a GIF, or Tenor, and you've got to still go there and do the thing and all of that. But I don't know. I as far as value, what do I mean by value? Well, HBO, if I listen to the better angels of my taste, title. That's a kind of a little bit of a Lincoln twist. When I listen to those better angels, I go, dude, why don't you just like fucking calm down and just go watch something really good and absorbing on HBO, and there's always something there. And I will sometimes still just dip into the first episode of The Leftovers, or season 3, episode 1 of The Wire, or this, or again, certainly like just the elephant in the room is I just did a rewatched through season 6 of Game of Thrones, like all the way through in order that my kid watched a fair number of with me. And as far as that's what I mean by value in terms of like, if I the times that I spend with Criterion and Mubi and Canopy and HBO are like, that's when I have the greatest opportunity to just discover something a little bit profound that takes my attention and time. You know, the snacking that I do on YouTube, I need to catch myself sometimes because I don't want to just be watching drill bit videos for like 6 hours or something like that. But and I guess I'm saying value also in terms of like aspiration. You know, like I make fun of my family because of the vegetables of obligation that they like to store. And like, but with me, like I just, sometimes I can't just tuck into a full on Ozu subtitled movie on Criterion. Like that's just not going to happen every night. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. I really love YouTube. I get a lot out of it. And I think the biggest thing that I've realized, not so much during this week, but during this episode, is I'm thinking more and more about, like, to paraphrase Raymond Carver, what we talk about when we talk about YouTube, because it can mean such different things. Before we even get into the ad part, which you have to get into the ad part, it's a fundamentally different experience if you don't have ads, which I realize is the minority. But like, I don't know how YouTube would stay popular with the number of ads they put in this stuff. But I get a lot of value out of that. And I love my little playlists, and sometimes other people like them too. I just started one on power trios. And before that, I finally started one on what I consider very good live performances. These are a little bit generic by my standards, but you never know what somebody will like.
I think I'm going to make my bootleg Broadway bangers bootleg Broadway bangers playlist.
Did you ever find out like what's the new place? Do you use the Pornhub? Like where are you finding your Broadway bootlegs?
They come to me in various forms. People will host them on. Right. No, I don't know.
No, I understand. Thank you. I just need to get friends who send me things. I told them send me a screenshot of what you're going to send me before you send me.
If you go on Reddit and say, if you start searching, like someone will say, "Hey, here's a link to a thing," but the problem is Dropbox has the gross thing now where it will look for copyrighted material.
Oh, no kidding! It scans for. Yes. There was a thing back in the day where it wasn't an MD5, but there was something along the lines of there's some kind of a stamp thing that it could quickly grok. But I bet they got the technology now. Because, I mean, that used to be the thing where, like, if you find a 1.2376 size, file called Game of Thrones, blah, blah, right? That used to... So they're getting good at that, huh?
Yeah, which is why there will be someone who either encodes it differently or just puts a tiny little watermark in the corner that's right. You can't detect it.
I love those ones, though, where people have like come up with, I imagine some of these are just wild guesses. There's the classic reverse the image or flop it, as Todd says. There's that one. There's the put a weird box that moves around it. Like some of them are really funny. I haven't
seen that. Ooh.
Oh, no, there's just that one where you like, it's almost like you're doing, columns to fix the aspect ratio, but you do things that are like kind of weird and geometric to try and confuse the engine.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Ooh.
It's almost like a screensaver running,
Yes, like a DVD.
Waiting for the DVD to get in the corner.
Oh, man, talk about, I got a little too excited about it.
I think we're just about done here. I started making a list of, I'm going to think about a restaurant called HBO Ladies. And you got to have the dots in there for that, HBO Ladies. I've got the channels, Trash Theory, Beacon Rewind. I have a list of the ones that I like. Is there anything else we could do to help our listeners this week, Alex? What are we going to talk about in the after show?
Most importantly, I forgot about friendly browsing. You can turn off YouTube Shorts so you don't see them at all.
How?
You just turn, just a setting in there.
Are you sure? And this isn't just the I want less of this? You're talking about actually turn it off.
You actually turn it off. It's not available.
I despise looking at them. I despise when people send them to me. And I despise the fact that YouTubers who make things about landscape media are compelled to do these asinine things. It makes me so... Yes. Will you tell me about that in the after show?
Yes. Give us your fucking money.com. We have an after show. Maybe I'll take Adderall before we record the after show.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about it now. We'll plan. So it took me 27 minutes. How long does it take you? Whoa. No, wait. Well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to judge. You're going to take you an Adderall at 2 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've taken one much later, and it does not
that doesn't make
affect
it good.
my sleep.
Okay.
It doesn't.
That's kind of like when people say I drive better drunk.
No, it's not.
How do you know?
No, it's not. I've
tell?
heard that though, and I thought it was just
what,
like
though?
a funny bit that I drive better drunk because I'm paying attention. No, I drive better stoned because I'm more relaxed and I don't get road rage. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm okay
But who drives
with
stoned
judging
at 2
people.
p.m.?
Someone cooler than me, apparently.
Is it hot there right now? How hot is it?
Much. It's not that hot. I think it's like 70 something.
Oh, I thought you guys were under a heat dome.
We were just in a only 79, but still. Yeah,
Nice.
no, it was bonkers. We had the 3 digits, baby. It was very exciting.
That's nuts.
By exciting, I mean just absolutely miserable. I didn't leave the house for 2 days intentionally, and
Your air was working okay?
I turned it off, but because I had not the shades, curtains drawn.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're allowed to have curtains now, which is nice.
I know, yeah. It took a long time, but yeah. And
you've shown that you are responsible enough to handle curtains. It's like letting your kid drive the car.
But they are those pressure ones, so they're not like
What seals your house?
The tension rods. That's what I mean. So
those are easy to pull down. You can also use it for sword fights.
Fun.
You can act like it's
challenge.
in like a no. We're talking about the little rubber at the ends and the spring in the middle.
Yes.
Yeah, you can pull it out like that's your scabbard, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Yeah, and you get free spring. Spring forward, fall back.
Reference? Is that a reference?
Nope. I just don't have a good way to end this, and I want to edit what we've got. And
Yes.
I don't have anything. Do you have anything? Do we have a funny way to end this? Because people are probably gone already because it stopped being funny a while ago, right?
Oh, I think they're here for your really smart takes
Why do you
about
like this? Why do you do
media
this to me?
consumption.
Why do you do this to me?
What? Compliment
Everything,
you?
the whole way, the whole you are.
Would you like me to talk about chortling your balls since I already have done that to our other friends? What do you want? How can I make you happy?
No,
does everything
I'm going to say no. I don't want you to chortle. I don't want you to chortle my balls, even metaphorically. Would you put the testicles in your mouth and then make a noise? Is that what that means?
Honestly, I don't know.
And is it something? Because I'm curious. Is it something that people like the relay guys?
No idea. Yeah.
You know, they're fancy. They have watches and stuff now. I didn't know about that.
There are.
But if you want to watches, they buy fancy watches now. I think they're skimming off the top, personally.
I think everyone has a fancy watch, or at least like all podcasters seem to have a fancy watch phase.
Sure.
A hashtag not all podcast. Well, didn't most podcasters have a soda stream phase? That was a big, It was a crazy time.
Yeah, most podcasters for sure.
Most.
I think as many as 3
lives
people
matter.
you know have talked about SodaStream on a podcast.
Oh, maybe 5. Say
That's most podcasters for sure.
I've got a bell right here. I'm ready.
Oh, okay. Let's see if there's anything funny here. I don't think so. Suicide Squad, the HBO ladies. My kid's
First scene
not
of the
as smart as John
leftovers where the
Voorhees'
baby disappears.
Make my baby disappear?
The first scene of the leftovers when the baby disappears and it's very
I like
upsetting.
that lady. You know who that lady is?
No.
She's an HBO lady. Okay, think about it. Do you remember her at the laundromat and in the parking lot? You remember her?
Yeah, I do, but I don't remember who she is.
It's okay.
No.
It's a little obscure. That's Kendall's wife. Kendall's long-suffering wife.
Oh no!
So she is a double HBO lady.
Oh, Does that mean she gets like a special space in the
I don't know. But on our break,
well, they do you do things differently here, so I don't know. Maybe she gets extra treats.
HBO ladies?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm trying to think of who else it could be. There could be a lot of obscure ones. Oh, like Wendy Malick. If we go way back to Dream On, nothing wrong with that.
I don't know Wendy.
Yeah, you know Wendy Malick. You know her. She was on Dream On with that guy. And then another old one we could do once. Oh, Sarah Silverman from Mr. Show.
Yes, that's where people know Sarah Silverman from Mr. Show. I'm sorry, that wasn't nice. I know she's on Mr. Show.
That seemed a little unhinged.
It was not kind. I'm
so
sorry.
Because you don't have experience with Mr. Show, you don't.
No, it was unkind.
What do you think people
That's
know
why
her
I'm
from?
apologizing.
Don't apologize.
From the Sarah Silverman Show. From
are you talking about the Sarah Silverman program?
The Sarah Silverman program.
What's the name of the show?
Featuring Sarah Silverman.
Celery Silverman. You can request Celery Silverman when you come to HBO Ladies. Is Celery Silverman working tonight? No, but her twin's here. Yeah, she has a twin.
I don't know. Oh, wait, really?
They play Andy and Ollie on Bob's Burgers.
Oh, that's really cute.
Yeah. Oh. She's in a really good sketch. Late. It's a late. She was there late in the history of Mr. Show. But there's one where, you can't even say anymore. But it's a band of people with different disabilities that are like really not good for people who are in a band. The kind of disabilities that they have. And you know what her disability is? She's a girl. I'll send it to you. Okay, everybody, stay tuned.
They say.
Whatever happened to ululating? People don't ululate anymore.